Hi guys, this is Dr. Sadasivam once again. Remember in the earlier video when we talked about the comparisons between US and China economy, we talked about Marshall Plan. And in that video, I committed to you that I will be putting up a separate video on the Marshall Plan. Now we are going to talk about what it is and what is its relevance as far as US relationship with other countries are concerned. Remember, we were talking about how United States is a all welcoming company. It wants to have good friendship with the allied countries, and China is very straightjacketed in terms of their approach with other neighboring countries. Now we're going to talk about the Marshall Plan, and Marshall Plan is also called as European Recovery Plan, which is ERP. This was passed in the year 1948 in order to provide to aid countries in Western Europe. Remember, Second World War ended in 1945 after bombing Hiroshima and Nagasaki in response to Pearl Harbor tragedy and lots of things. But largely it ended with the bombings in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, which marked the end of World War II. So in the year 1948, when this plan was passed in order to provide for aid to the Western Europe, more than $13 billion were sanctioned as aid. Now $13 billion, just to give you a perspective, it is equivalent of 114 billion in the year 2020. It's 100 that's the value of $13 billion which was provided as foreign aid in the year 1948. Mostly this was provided to the West European countries soon after the World War II. There were four important objectives behind these loans, and one was to rebuild the war-torn regions in Europe, because most of those regions, your Germany, France, Spain, Portugal, Hungary, Poland, all these countries were affected because of the war, and they wanted to rebuild their economy, right? So one was to removal of trade barriers, modernize industries, but last but not the least, preventing the spread of communism. That was one of the most important objectives of the United States in providing huge amounts of money, which is $13 billion during those days, and also to pull them from the crisis as a result of Second World War. Now, if you look at how this 13 billion crore was divided, it was $13 billion, sorry. It was divided on the basis of per capita basis, depending on the size of the country and the role it played in the overall economy. Money was apportioned to these countries on a pro rata basis, and of course it is needless to say that more aid flowed to allied nations which supported the US. For example, UK received 26% of the total aid, followed by your Germany and France. France was somewhere around 15-16%, and Germany received somewhere around 11-12%. So as far as the Soviet Union was concerned, they refused these benefits. Not just that, they also blocked the aid to other East European countries. So that was the position of Soviet Union. This is extremely important because Marshall Plan is an important event in the history, not just in the IAS, IPS exam, but it can appear in any competitive examination, right? So this is from a current affairs point of view, and people who are taking up polity or history as a optional subject, you really go too deep into what it is, and this is not just enough, and this is from the perspective of your general awareness, polity, etc., not if you have taken as optional. Right guys, I hope you like this video, and this is Dr. Sadasivam signing off till we meet again. Bye bye. Jai Hind.